Welcome back, everybody, to This Never Gets Old. Today we're joined by Bria Kamdem Kwakam, a physical therapist at Torrance Memorial Medical Center. Bria, thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, what inspired you to get into physical therapy.
Yeah, so I grew up in Michigan, from Lansing, Michigan, born and raised. And I got into physical therapy because I've always been really athletic, played soccer all my life. And just seeing some of my teammates with injuries, I, would drop some of my teammates at a physical therapist clinic. And then my dad had a stroke, and so I was able to see kind of that neurology aspect of physical therapy. He has recovered and everything. And so that's kind of what got me into physical therapy.
What is physical therapy? How does it improve, a person's quality of life?
Yeah, so physical therapy or physical therapists, we're movement specialists. So essentially, we evaluate and make personalized plans for people, looking at their deficits, whether they are feeling weak, whether their flexibility is impaired, their mobility is impaired, their balance, and we kind of make a plan tailored to that so that they can go on and do their day-to-day without being limited.
Okay, you ready to take a bite of that?
Yeah, it smells very good.
Okay, eating healthy home-cooked meals is a great way to improve your quality of life. Mm-hmm. Here we have in front of you something I made for you last night, Moroccan-style stuffed collard greens. And while you enjoy those, we're going to show everybody how I made them. Welcome back, everybody, to the This Never Gets Old kitchen. Today I'm going to prepare Moroccan-style stuffed collard greens. We don't always get the opportunity to take a vacation, but we can travel the world without leaving our kitchen with the flavors of our food. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is add a generous amount of olive oil to a pan. We're going to add 1 large diced red pepper or 2 small diced red peppers. Next, we're going to add 10 diced Roma tomatoes. We're going to let that cook down. Okay, while your tomatoes are cooking down, you're going to take your trimmed collard greens and you're going to dip them in your boiling water for 3 minutes each to make them more pliable. Make sure you check your tomatoes and reduce the heat to simmer. Take your leaf out of the boiling water and dip it into some cold water to stop the cooking process and make it easier to handle. Continue with the rest of your collard greens. Take your cooled collard green out of the cold water and put it on a clean towel to dry. Do this process with all the collard greens. While your collard greens are cooking, you're going to add a teaspoon of harissa to your tomato mixture. Stir that in. Next, in a large saute or frying pan, we're going to add another generous amount of olive oil. And we're going to add 16 ounces of ground turkey. After a few minutes, we're going to break up the turkey so that all the meat gets an opportunity to brown. After about 3 minutes, you're going to add 1 small diced onion, about 3 chopped garlic, and a teaspoon of za'atar. Okay, and finally, to the ground turkey onion mixture, you're going to add a cup of quinoa and half a cup each of chopped fresh Italian parsley and fresh dill. Mix that in and turn off the heat and let that cool. So before we stuff our collard greens, we're going to add some of our sauce to the bottom of a baking dish. And then we're going to take our collard greens and fill them with some of our ground turkey. And Add that cut side down. Again, add a nice amount of ground turkey to our collard green, roll, and add to our baking dish. Continue on with the same process. Add the ground turkey, fold in the sides, and add to our baking dish, and continue on. Once all your collard greens are stuffed, add some of the sauce to the top of your stuffed collard greens, keep them moist, and then cover them with foil. And bake in the oven at 350 from 35 to 40 minutes. These look beautiful just out of the oven. We're going to serve a couple of them up on the plate. We're going to garnish with our yogurt sauce, sprinkle with some pomegranate seeds, and finally with some chopped pistachios. There you have it, Moroccan stuffed collard greens with a spiced yogurt sauce, pomegranate seeds, and crushed pistachio nuts. Enjoy.
That's very good.
Are you lying?
No, I actually really like it. No, it's very good. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much. So let you take a few more bites. And you're welcome to eat throughout the show if you want to continue.
Okay. Oh, man. Is it Greek yogurt?
Yeah, yeah. So it's yogurt with the with some lemon zest, some garlic, some
And the
dill,
pomegranate.
and some sumac.
Yeah, no, it's very good.
So Bria, you work closely with seniors every day. What has that taught you about fall prevention, pain management, and helping seniors stay active and independent?
I think the biggest thing I've learned is how important it is to stay moving. So I have a lot of patients who have hobbies that maybe are hard for them to do now. And so our biggest thing is find what that hobby is and let's see if we can modify it or at least just get them back to doing it. Because we would just want them to stay active. And when you can find something that you really like to do that's active and just making it a habit, that's the most important.
Great. Thank you so much. If there was one daily habit or activity every senior or someone in their 40s should prioritize to maintain strength and mobility and balance, what would that be?
Such a good question. I think I'll have to choose strength training. I was going back and forth between maybe walking and strength training. I think strength training. I think that's something that a lot of people don't do enough, especially as they get older. A lot of my patients are just scared to lift weights or use the weights at a gym. So I think having that habit is really going to help them down the line.
Thanks, Bria. On This Never Gets Old, we agree that strength, mobility, and balance are super important. Let's check out the exercise tip of the week.
Oh, perfect.
Another way to test our balance is called a tightrope walk or hold. We're going to start with a hold, one foot right in front of the other, clawing the ground with your feet, and you're going to hold right here for about 10 seconds, and then you can walk one foot in front of the other. Try to look straight ahead. You can put your arms wherever you want for your balance, forward, and then you're going to go backwards, 5 to 10 steps.
Bria, if someone thinks they can benefit from physical therapy, what is the best way to find a PT or begin the process?
Yeah, so California is a direct access state. So you can kind of look for a clinic that you like and give them a call. And then at Torrance Memorial Medical Center, we do need a referral from a physician. So once you get that referral, just give us a call and we'll get you on the books.
What are some of the early signs of chronic conditions and mobility issues that seniors should pay attention to? I know we kind of referred to that earlier, but what should a senior should pay attention to, and what can they do to prevent injuries before they happen?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is is it taking you longer to do day-to-day things that you always do? Like, is it taking you longer to get up out of bed? Is it taking you longer to get out of that chair that you sit in every day? I think that's the biggest thing. That should be kind of an alarm in your head, being like, something's going on, something's wrong potentially, and getting a referral.
You spend so much time educating patients and families. What's the one thing about physical therapy or healthy aging that you wish more people knew about and asked about?
I think preventative care. So as physical therapists, we can see you before an injury, right? Before you have that surgery, we can see you, and then it sets you up for success after your surgery. So if you have a total knee replacement, total hip replacement, try to get in to see a physical therapist first before surgery. That way, after surgery, if you require physical therapy, it'll be an even more seamless process.
On This Never Gets Old, we like to feature an individual who's breaking the stereotypes of aging. Let's meet our Senior of the Week.
I grew up in a small town, small fishing village in Canada called Rimouski. My dad had been gravely injured in a car accident and was never able to play hockey, skate with us, play catch, and that was very missing in his life. So he was always telling us how important it is to take care of your body, and nutrition and exercise was always a big part of growing up.
My parents bought their home the year I was born in 1966 in Rancho Palos Verdes, and my mom is still living there now. So I've always been a South Bay guy. As a kid, I have 3 siblings, and we were all doing sports, and I was the youngest one. So by the time I was up and around as a little kid, I was already playing sports. So I've always been into fitness. When I finished my undergraduate degree in college, I knew I was going to go back that fall to get my master's, and I needed a part-time job. And I said, what would be a perfect part-time job with flexible hours would be doing personal fitness training. So even when I finished my master's, I was really busy in my own business. I continued to do that for several years until I finally went on to do what I wanted to do, was teach. At that point, my dad had Parkinson's, so that's how I got interested in Parkinson's. And he died at that point. So about a year or 2 after that, I said, why don't I get back into fitness? I'm sure that's something that's making him happy that I'm doing.
In 1990, so 36 years ago, I moved to Los Angeles to become the strength and conditioning coach of the Los Angeles Kings. And it didn't work out, so I worked for 36 years at another gym here in the South Bay. And but my dream was always to have my own business, and I was always brewing in my head. And then 10 years ago, that's when in 2016 opened Still Got It Fitness, which we exclusively work with people over 50. The name came up on Friday night playing hockey with younger college kids that did a great pass to me. I went on a breakaway and score right under the crossbar, and came back on the bench, and the kid that had given me that great breakaway pass came to me and said, "Hey man, you still got it." So at the time I was looking for a name for the business, and right there, sitting on the bench, and I'm like, that's it. This is the name. About 8 years ago, we decided to start a Parkinson program. So I did some research, and I looked about certification, and so we started just with one client, and today it's about 50% of our what we do is working with people with Parkinson's. And the results are amazing. I mean, we have people coming to me sometimes and they're like in tears telling me that, hey, thank you for giving me my husband back. It's slowing down the process which it means everything for those people.
Well, the Parkinson's program, you really want to address the needs of people that have Parkinson's. So I kind of categorize that into 5 areas or exercises or activities, all right? The first area is movements, okay? People with Parkinson's have a problem that their movement ability diminishes and their motor skills diminish as long as the disease progresses. So several years into their battle with Parkinson's disease, it's very difficult for them to move because they've had so many movement loss. So what we know is if we learn a new move, we create a neural pathway in our brain and we store that movement into our brain. So our goal, first goal of our program with Parkinson's is to do as many different movements as we can, so we're adding to the bank of moves, so there'll be less of a deficit in the future. The second kind of area is balance, mobility, and fall prevention. That's a definite concern with the aging population, but even worse with Parkinson's because of the motor skill loss. Third area, I call like a dual tasking. One thing we know about Parkinson's is the part of the brain that controls movement or motor skills and the part of the brain that does decision making doesn't quite mesh. There's a lack of communication. So it's very difficult for somebody with Parkinson's to do a physical task and a cognitive skill at the same time. So just like if your goal, a person's goal was to come to the gym, I want to get stronger, you're going to lift weights to get stronger. So if you want to get better at dual tasking, we do lots of dual tasking exercises. Fourth area is flexibility and strength. With Parkinson's, the body tends to get rigid, especially upper body, like neck and back areas. So we really work on flexibility, and strength helps overall, because when people have Parkinson's for very many years, their loss of their motor skill could be challenged just to get up out of a chair or get in and out of a car, and obviously the strength helps a lot with that. And then the last area I want to talk about is things like exercises you would do in physical therapy. So take specific problems for specific individuals. So a very common thing with Parkinson's is they lose their fine motor skills. So buttoning a jacket or doing a zipper can be very difficult. So we work on fine motor skills. Another thing is the loss of the voice. The voice is a motor skill as well. So people with Parkinson's have had it for a long time. Sometimes they're hard to understand. So we work on voice projection. Another thing you wouldn't even think about is working on the muscles of your face. Expressions, it's hard for people to smile, have Parkinson's, hard for people to show emotion. So those are all things that we work on. They're individual specific problems that we address in our workout. You can't reverse symptoms that have already happened. Damage that's caused by disease is not reversible, but your whole goal is to slow your curve. One person may have a natural fast curve, another person have a more fortunate have a slower curve, but for both those people, exercise will flatten their curve. So the whole goal is a better quality of life longer, right? And what I'm most proud of is that when we first started, maybe like 7 years ago, I didn't have anybody that didn't have profound loss already. And because you're helping flattening the curve, you have way more success with people that are newly diagnosed than people that have had the disease for 10 or 20 years, right? So now, just in the last couple of years, I'm getting mainly people that are newly diagnosed. So that's what I'm most proud of. We can help more people and have better success with the people we're getting to now.
Our most popular class, it's called a Life Fit class, and it's based on a type, boot camp type, but for specifically designed and written for people over 50. So we have people in that class that have been doing it for like 8 years, and we have people that are completely deconditioned and overweight that can come and take the same class and the same exercises as long as there's modification. We have balance and mobility and fall prevention classes. And so all those classes, are very popular, and so we have a membership for that. It's unlimited, and then the other membership is for personal training. So we sit down, we look at your goals, your needs, your limitation, and then we write a program, and also we do a medical history. And from all that information, we write a program designed for you to reach your goals. We have people who have been doing it for 20 years. They've been with me. People have been doing it for, 18 years, 15 years, a whole bunch over 10 years. And, it's very special. Those people become family. And, and the reward is that to see those people having a very fulfilling good quality of life, and they remain functional. You know, my oldest client was 102 and was with me 24 years, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 o'clock, and was still sailing at 96, and he was still driving till he was 101.
The notion of just saying, I'm going to exercise or I should exercise, that doesn't work. It has to be a priority and something you set up ahead of time, and you have your regular schedule, and you schedule other things around your exercise. I think making it priority is a big thing. So if people are already exercising, you know, do everything you can not to lessen your workout. Try to do what you're doing as long as you can forever, and don't give in to saying, oh, I'm getting older, I can't do this. For people that aren't exercising, you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel. You'll sleep better, you'll have more energy, your life will be better if you exercise on a regular basis.
The best way to really see what we do is to make an appointment. Come over here, meet with us. I'll give you a little tour, show you around, and then really explain how we can help you.
So the best way to get in touch with us is to either call us or come in. It's Still Got It Fitness, and we'd be happy to tell you about our program and show you what we do.
And the other way is on the website at stillgotitfitness.com, and you can also make an appointment on the website. You know, I think I would just like to share a little story that just happened about 2 weeks ago about this lady that's been with me for about 16 years, and she is from New Jersey. She's 4'11", 97 pounds. So this lady came about 2 weeks ago, almost in tears, telling me that for the first time in a long, long time, she was able to grab a case of water at the grocery store and put the case of water in her basket. And for her, that small win was huge for her. She's been training for it, and you know, for her, it's all about independence. It's all about being able to do the things that you want to do, that you need to do, and that you love to do.
Bria, what is one of the biggest misconceptions about physical therapy that you'd like to address?
That there's so many of us and there's different styles of us. So with physical therapy, you have therapists who focus on neurological conditions. You have therapists that focus on vestibular, on orthopedic, on pediatric, cardiopulm, geriatric. We have physical therapists in the hospital, in outpatient clinics, at-home physical therapy. So there's so many different avenues. I think some people think that all physical therapists are the same and that we treat every single person, but we really have all these different avenues.
Hey, Bria, what is the difference between a PT and an OT, a physical therapist and an occupational therapist?
Yes, that's the big question. So with PT, we focus on balance, on your walking or gait, on strength, endurance in that realm. And OT, there is overlap with that because they can look at your walking, because OTs focus on your activities of daily living. So how you work in the kitchen, how you get dressed, how you do any type of work tasks. And at Torrance Memorial, we do have both PT and OT. And then we have hand specialists as well that really work on the hand and all those fine motor skills too.
So you're a physical therapist, right? Why did you choose physical therapy over occupational therapy?
Yeah, so just from my history of playing sports and seeing my dad go through physical therapy after his stroke, I kind of saw a little bit more of that side of it. Before you go to PT school, you do have to get a bunch of shadowing hours. And so I was able to shadow a lot of physical therapists. I did end up shadowing a lot of OTs or occupational therapists, but I just felt that physical therapy was a little bit more in what I wanted to do.
Bria, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and knowledge. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions by our viewers and our listeners, so we'll get to that in a second. But first, you ready to have a little fun?
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things we like to do here on This Never Gets Old is play a little game of this or that.
Okay.
So you up for that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So we got a special edition for you, a special sports edition. So cardio or weight training?
Weight training.
Yoga or Pilates?
Ooh, Pilates.
Okay, so I'm going to ask both of these. Soccer or hockey?
Soccer, absolutely.
Soccer or American football?
Soccer, absolutely. No question.
Hiking or swimming?
Oh, I'm not a great swimmer, but I also am not huge into hiking. So I'm going to say swimming because I can also just sit by the ocean.
Playing a sport or watching a sport?
Playing.
Messi or Rolando?
Messi. Oh, absolutely Messi.
Who's the guy from Spain, though? The team?
Lamine Yamal is like
Lamine
the
Yamal.
youngest
Yes.
up and coming
What a
player.
guy.
Yeah.
What a guy. Okay, let's get back to it. Evening workout or morning workout?
Evening workout. I'm not a morning riser.
And lastly, if you could be a professional athlete, what sport would you play?
Oh, soccer. No questions asked. I love that sport.
Bria, thank you so much for joining us again on the show and sharing your knowledge and your expertise. If people want to reach you and find out more about you and Torrance Memorial Medical Center, how can they contact you?
Yeah, so you can reach us at our main clinic number in the West Tower. It's 310-517-4735. But we also have other clinics in the South Bay area.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Everybody, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, and we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, thank you.